Hey everybody, happy holidays. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to give my review for Hawkeye, and what a better time to do it because the show takes place during Christmas. So this is going to be my Christmas review for the Disney Plus show Hawkeye. So I really like the show taking place at Christmas. I think it provides a good sort of central, Clint has something to do. Like, he's got to get home to Christmas to his family, and it also takes place at Christmas in New York, which obviously looks really beautiful. I've never been to Christmas in New York, but it always looks great. They go to the tree at Rockefeller Center in the final episode, so I really like this centering around Christmas. And also, if you've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, the very, very end of Spider-Man No Way Home, where Peter gets his apartment and he's making his own suit, and then he goes swinging around New York in his new suit, is also during Christmas time. So that actually takes place, the end of No Way Home takes place right before the Hawkeye show. So I do like that kind of like a little bit of continuity. I think that's really great. So the first time I watched the Hawkeye show, I wasn't really into it that much. I thought it was just okay, it has a lot of problems, but I loved Kate Bishop. I really do. And I've always liked the Hawkeye character in the movies. He's never really given a whole lot to do, like in terms of how, like Natasha, like we see her constantly always being a badass. So we know Natasha, even though she's just a normal person, who works for S.H.I.E.L.D., she's a superhero. She's badass. Hawkeye has had a couple moments here and there, but I mean, even he calls out in Age of Ultron, he's like, you were fighting robots and I have a bow and arrow. This doesn't make any sense, right? So I like that we give him his own show, even though it doesn't really showcase a lot of what he can do. It still does kind of show that in the world of the MCU, Hawkeye is still looked upon as an Avenger. He's a hero. He's somebody, you don't really want to mess with, right? He's very capable. So I really like that we get his own show. And in terms of the Black Widow movie versus the Hawkeye show, I might say the Hawkeye show is a little bit better. But that's also because they had introduced Yelena Belova in the Black Widow show, and she pops up in Hawkeye, and I love the character of Yelena. So this show has two of my favorite top 3 MCU characters, Kate Bishop and Yelena Belova. And so for those reasons alone, I just really enjoy the show. But let's go ahead and get into it. So episode 1 is really Kate Bishop's episode. We get introduced to the character and who she is, and why she idolizes Hawkeye so much. And she gives a speech in the final episode also to him, why she looks up to him so much. It's because during the Battle of New York, there's that scene where Hawkeye runs out of arrows, but he uses one last arrow to jump off the building, and swing and stuff. And she saw that, and that was the moment where she thought, anybody can be a hero if you're just brave enough to do the right thing. I think that's what she tells him. And so that's why she looks up to Hawkeye, is because even though he's just a human, he still is a hero who can do extraordinary things. And so I really like that. I really like giving Hawkeye his own kind of like fangirl almost. Like Captain Marvel has Kamala Khan, And so I like that, seeing somebody idolize Hawkeye, who again has never really had a whole lot to do in the Marvel movies. I think my best version of Hawkeye might be Endgame, where I do think he's really good in that, and I think that's his movie where he kind of levels up. So I do like that. And then we kind of just get into the main plot of the show. The rest of the episodes are just following this plot. And so the plot is Kate Bishop went to this black market auction where they were selling off stuff from the Avengers compound. So at the end of Endgame, the Avengers compound gets completely demolished, and I guess, who knows, some people, or maybe it was stolen from Nick Fury, who knows, but all that stuff was eventually collected, and so this is a black market auction to sell that stuff. And Kate Bishop ends up putting on the Ronin suit and getting kind of in trouble with the tracksuit mafia, and then she's on TV, and so that's how Clint finds her, because she was saving Lucky Pizza Dog. And then also the tracksuit mafia was specifically looking for the watch, and we'll come back to the watch. But so that's how Clint gets to meet Kate Bishop, and then the whole thing is just about putting the Ronin character to bed. And I will say, I guess Clint wants to go help Kate because he knows that if she puts on the Ronin suit, she's dead, basically. And that's what makes Clint a hero, right? Like, maybe somebody else would just be like, that's their problem, But so Clint takes personal responsibility for this. And so I do kind of like that. But it is kind of like, when you get the suit, like, just throw it out. Like, what's this whole, we have to make deals with the Tracksuit Mafia and all this stuff. And also the Tracksuit Mafia are a joke. They're funny, but they're not very capable. And I don't believe for a second they're some sort of elite team that the Kingpin would hire. They are kind of buffoons. But they're funny buffoons. But again, I think, like, why... I mean, when they get the suit, why is there this, we have to go talk to the Tracksuit Mafia, clear things up. So I think it's because they find out that Kate Bishop is the one wearing the suit, and so now they think Kate Bishop is Ronin, and I think Clint wants to just kind of clear all that up, and so she doesn't get in trouble. And that's really nice of him. But again, I just feel like, what is the whole involvement with this? What's the confusion? Like, why are we... And then Echo comes in, and then she's after the Ronin because Ronin killed her dad and everything. I just wish it was just a little bit more of a tighter narrative that, like, all of these little plot points made sense instead of just, like, connect the dots. But that's okay. But then, yeah, so we get introduced to Echo, who is getting her own show. And the Echo character's fine. She's not great. We'll see what she does in her own show. She's kind of just here to be a little bit of an antagonist and has a lot of angst. But she's okay. And for me, the personal highlight of the show is Yelena. Episode 5, we get Yelena, and we see that Yelena got blipped, and then she blipped back. And it's really cool, because in WandaVision, we saw Monica get blipped back, right? She was at her mom's hospital bed, and we see her reemerging, and the chaos around all of that. But I like that in this one we get Yelena, she's continuing her mission from the end of Black Widow, where she's saving all the former Black Widow agents, and then she goes to the bathroom, she blips, she doesn't know that, and then she blips back, and we see everything change around her. And then when she comes out, she has no idea what happened. And so I like that perspective of the unblip. She comes back, so I do like that. And then we get Yelena and Kate Bishop together, and I think their dynamic is just so fun. So yeah, I really love Yelena Belova in this. I like the finale where Hawkeye talks to her about Natasha, and I like that she eventually comes around to what Clint is telling her, that Natasha did sacrifice herself, and she no longer is like, you killed her. She comes around to that Natasha sacrificed herself, and knowing this, that Yelena was one of the ones that was blipped, it makes more sense why Natasha was so desperate to get everybody back, right? She wanted her sister back, even if she couldn't be there to see her. So, and I think that kind of clicks in Yelena's head a little bit too, that Natasha did sacrifice herself, and she knows why, and that Natasha is a hero. And so I do like that kind of conclusion at the finale episode. Kate's mom and the boyfriend, I like the boyfriend, Jack. He's kind of funny and everything. Kate's mom, it's Vera Farmiga, so you're kind of like, yeah, there's more to her. She's not just the mom character. It's whatever. It's not really great story plots, but whatever. The LARPers, I don't think you need the LARPers at all. That was just a little too far for me. They're just whatever. They're just kind of there. I do like the dog, though. The dog is really cute. What else is there? So then, there's also this, plot thread of the watch that they pick up and they drop, and they pick up and they drop constantly. So the Tracksuit Mafia went to the auction to get the watch. For why? We don't know. Then Echo has the watch. For why? We don't know. And so Clint retrieves the watch, gives it to his wife, Laura. Apparently it's her watch, and it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. watch that says number 19. And so she was clearly a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. But why did the Tracksuit Mafia want the watch to begin with? Is it just cool? It just, all it says is 19 on it. It doesn't say Laura Barton, wife of Clint Barton, Hawkeye. There's no way to, identify her or track her to the watch. What's the significance of the watch? Why was it so important? Why does Echo have the watch? Did she know? Because she had a list of Clint Barton's family and the watch, so did she know? But again, how would she find out? It's just a watch. Was there like some sort of roster and Avengers Tower of all of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and their numbers? And they just like, I don't understand the watch. It feels like a plot thread that was just dropped. And then they were like, oh crap, we still have parts of the plot. Let's just dump in a couple scenes that don't explain anything. So I don't like the whole watch thing. I don't know why the tracksuit... It would have made perfect sense if they were there to get the Ronin costume, which Kate then steals. That would make perfect sense. Why were they there just to get the watch and then go after Kate Bishop in the Ronin costume? So that's kind of like my one main problem with the show, is that some of the plot points don't make any sense. And then, of course, then again, you have the mom, and she's secretly working for Kingpin, and all that stuff doesn't really make sense. Kingpin in this is okay. I mean, he's kind of feels like the Kingpin from the Netflix show, but he also is just a little bit off, and then, like, he can just take arrows to the chest and get hit by cars and survive explosions. So clearly he's a little more enhanced, but that's okay. You know, as great as Vincent D'Onofrio was in the Netflix show, I think he is getting a little bit old for this role, and I think we should just, let him go. We don't need to keep having him be Kingpin forever. We can get somebody new. Even though he is good in the role, but I just think it's time to move on. But I get that they kept him because they're keeping Charlie Cox, I think, who will also pop up in the Echo show. So I'm not super looking forward to the Echo show, but the trailer's been okay, so we'll see how it goes. But for the Hawkeye show, the whole Echo, Kingpin, that whole thing just doesn't really work for me. So overall, I really do enjoy the Hawkeye show, especially on a second viewing. I really love Kate Bishop. I just think she's such a great character. I love when she's like leaving all these phone messages for Clint, and she's like, "Do you think I enjoyed being this crazy person leaving phone messages?" I just think that's so fun. And I mean, I don't think that she can learn that little flicky coin trick thingy like in one day. That seems like a skill that only Clint might have, because I mean, I know Clint is supposed to be like a normal person, but in my opinion, the way I look at Hawkeye is his superpower is like expert marksmanship. Like he can just hit anything with any projectile. Like that to me, I mean, that's why it's called Hawkeye. That to me is his superpower, and I just feel like you just can't train that overnight. Like that needs to be a skill, from years and years of honing, or again, it's just kind of his superpower thing. But anyway, that's just a little nitpick. But I do love Kate Bishop, and I can't wait to see more from the character. And I mean, I thought the show was better on the second viewing. And again, I love Yelena. I like giving Clint his own story and kind of wrapping up his character arc and kind of saying goodbye to him. I really did think that was nice. They have the Rogers the musical at the end credit scene of the final episode. They kind of play the full song from that musical. It's kind of fun. It's kind of catchy. I do like that they include Ant-Man in there, and Clint's like, he wasn't even there. That's kind of fun. So, and again, falls in that kind of like Christmas-y theme that they had going on. So, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was better second viewing. And there's some problems in here for sure. And I say I do like the four-way person fight scene at the end of episode 4 on the roof with Hawkeye, Kate, Echo, and Yelena all fighting on the roof. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that's kind of like a good creative thing that we need more in the Marvels, these kind of more creative fights and dynamics in the fights, right? Like Kate is still really like new to all this, and Yelena's a Black Widow, and Echo is deaf and an amputee, and then you have Hawkeye, who's like the veteran, right? And so I think that just makes for a fun dynamic on that rooftop scene. So those are some of the good things that I like about the show. Again, there's some bad stuff, but overall I think it's a fun and especially enjoyable again to watch during Christmas season. So yeah, so anyway, that's my review for the Hawkeye show. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more Marvel content. I will review the Echo show after it comes out. I still have to do Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as well. And then after that, I think I will be all caught up on the MCU. And I'll just review things as they come out. And then also, if you're a fan of Percy Jackson, stay tuned to my podcast on this channel, Percy Jack's Son of Poseidon podcast, where I will be reviewing each episode of the new upcoming Disney Plus show, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And I'm very excited about it. So, yeah, be sure to check that out and stay tuned to the channel for more content. So, thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, take care. And until next time, is that what heroes do? Arrest their mothers on Christmas? Bye.